Alright, so I've been modeling so far, and one thing I haven't paid attention to right now is the number of teeth that the inside of this portion will have. So basically, I'm just going to go back into Photoshop, and I'm going to try to see and look at this image a little bit closer up to see how many teeth it actually has. So if I go ahead and just start from here, I can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 teeth. So that means I need 12 polygons to start with. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. A few too many. Now this is bad because what this will mean is that I will have a few too many teeth to work with. And basically what I wanted to do is I wanted to start beveling these up and scaling them down in order for me to achieve 12 teeth. So basically what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to delete this and start over. Now I could try to make do with what I have. I could try to start merging some of these edges together and just play around, but if there's an approach to do this faster, and if I explain what it is right now, I guess what I could do is I could just go ahead and just create a new cylinder like this, and I could go ahead and just make sure I have 12 faces like this, invert like I did last time, bevel, and of course after I have beveled, I'm going to bridge. And now what I could easily do is I could just go ahead and well, a few things. One, I could very easily go ahead and just select all these faces here like that. I could just go into bevel, make sure I don't group polygons. I could just do something like this, where now I know for a fact that I have 12 teeth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this was just, a very simple way for me to create these teeth. Now, granted, what I would have to do in order for me to make these sharp is I would have to select all these edges here. I usually want to split in the middle and then bevel the edges like that. And of course, I would also have to make sure that I bevel the outside like this, and perhaps the outside like this. And of course, same thing down here. And like that. And then when I try to smooth, you'll notice that I have something like this, which is actually not too bad. Now, it's not perfect, but again, it's a very fast way of making sure that I have the proper amount of teeth just by using a simple bevel outwards on 12 faces. So now I have the perfect amount of teeth. Versus if I don't have the right amount of teeth, I'm going to have to start playing around with the geometry, and this will be no good. So you know what? What I'm going to actually do is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to play around a little bit more with this, and I'm going to replace this, or I'm going to replace this with this final result here. So first of all, let's go ahead and just choose all these polygons and scale this down until, of course, it matches the proportions a little bit closer. Like that. And of course, this inside part is a little bit thicker, or the circle here is smaller than here. So I'm just going to easily just go to, I can either just go ahead and just select all these parts in here, and then I can just go ahead and just make sure when I scale, I choose one of these green circles, because if I had chosen the center one, you'll notice that it's scaling towards a center, or like that, and that's not what I want. If I select this green one here, you'll notice that it is in fact always keeping up with the plane. The plane is always the same. You'll notice that it's scaling up, it's getting smaller and thicker, like that, but on the y-axis it's always the same. So I'm just going to go ahead and just scale this up a little bit. like that, and that's not too bad. So the next thing I could of course do is I could try to do something across here to make sure that I add a little bit more geometry into this part here, so that these teeth could be a little bit just slightly sharper. And of course what I could do is I could just easily select some of these edges here. So again, there's a few different ways to do this. So I'm just going to go ahead and just select all these edges here. I'm just right clicking. Okay, so I have all these selected. I'm going to go into Action Center. I'm going to go to Local, because what I want is I want to make sure that each and every single edge is being scaled individually. So when I now go to Center, you'll notice that every single edge is being scaled on its own, which is creating this neat effect here. And now that these edges are getting a little bit closer together, what's happening is I'm getting a nice result like that. Awesome. Next thing up, of course, what I might want to do is I might just want to go ahead and just select some of these lines here. And pressing L. Or, of course, what I could do is I could just go ahead and just select, double click here, and then I could just, what's the pattern one? Or maybe that won't work. So anyways, what I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and just select these edges like that. Just go to top view, hold shift, and just middle click all the way across these like so. There's really not that many, so I'm not really afraid of wasting time by selecting them manually. And I'm just going to go ahead and just scale it on X this time. And of course the result is like this. That looks pretty nice, much better than what I had here. So now what I could do is I could easily just unsmooth my model first of all. I can delete all of this work here. I can move all this into position. And I should also note that right now it would be a good time to turn off automatic. And I have something like this. Now there's one problem right now, and that is that there's a few more edges on this side here than over here, because I'm going to have to make sure that I merge. Well, actually, I guess it's not too bad. Anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and just go to edge like this, just split it down by 50%. And I'm going to try to make sure that this edge is more or less in line with this one here. So I'm going to select the entire model by double clicking. Like that, just moving it away slightly. Now I'm going to go into edges and making a polygon here. And of course the reason why I want to do that is because I'm going to want to bridge all the polygons here to all the polygons over here. I could of course do another way, because bridge doesn't only work on edges or on polygons. So instead of using polygons like I used last time, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and just delete some of these. So I'm just going to press backspace now, and you'll have something like this. And we do have some ugliness right here. Not really sure what's going on just yet, but we'll fix that later. I'm going to go ahead and just press backspace here. And you know what? Let me just delete this polygon. So again, backspace. Now I'm just going to double click on this edge here. Double click on this edge right here. And I'm going to try to bridge. Now, I'm not saying that this will give me a perfect result, but let's see what happens. And of course, the bridge is actually not too bad. So what is going on here? Everything is looking okay. I might have a duplicate of something, but you know what? For now, I'm just going to go ahead and just double click on everything. I'm going to go to vertex. I'm going to merge all this together. And of course, this is still happening. Let me go ahead and just turn off this. And again, it's still happening. Now, I'm guessing what's going on here is that there might be some double geometry. So let me just go ahead and just, you know what? Let me select all this here. Or if you have problems geometry like this, just go ahead, you know what? Delete it. See what's going on. And of course, there seems to be another polygon somewhere hidden in here. As you can see right here, there is in fact a polygon. I'm just going to go ahead and just delete it. And now I don't have that problem anymore. So I'm just going to go ahead and just select all this. Press F or P to create a new polygon. Or what you could do is you could just go ahead and just choose vertex mode or edge mode. Just select all the vertices around this edge loop here in a clockwise fashion. And of course, once you're done that, I'm going to go ahead and just go to make or polygon menu and then make face. That's correct. And I have a new polygon. Now I can go to edge slice and very easily do something like that. Of course, I would probably need to do something like that to the bottom, but again, I deleted the polygon, so it's not a problem. And now if I subdivide this model, it looks like this. So that's not too bad. The only thing I want to make sure of now is that this curvature here matches the image plane. So I'm just going to go ahead and just load up the image plane here. And as you can see right now is that this does not in fact match. So I'm just going to move this a little bit further away. I'm going to move this a little bit further away here. And you know what? I'm going to probably want to go into the backdrop item. I'm going to want to make sure that the transparency is a little bit stronger. And I'm going to try to match up the overall curvature just a little bit more. Now, right now, I can't really see my object here. So I think that might be a little bit of a problem, but you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and just eyeball it. So I just split these edges in half. And of course, the reason why I did that is because I just need a little bit more detail to work with. And all I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to make sure that this has a nice smooth going all the way across. And now when I try to smooth, I have a wrench like this. Now I guess what I could want to do is I might want to make this stand out almost in a similar fashion as this, where I have a tight edge, but usually I don't think wrenches actually have that going for them. But anyways, this wrench is, I'd say, done actually. It's all quads. It's perfectly clean. As far as I know, it's all quads. So let me go ahead and just go to lists. Let me go to statistics, polygons by vertex. And as you can see, are there any polygons that are greater than 4 or with more than 4 vertices? There is in fact 0. I know that I selected something, but that was because of my old selection. But if I go ahead and just deselect whatever I had selected previously, if I try to press plus, I haven't selected any new polygons. So now I actually don't need my backdrop item. I'm just going to delete it. I'm going to make my other wrenches visible. I'm going to make this one, I'm going to move it down like this. And we have yet another wrench. So that concludes it for this chapter. Cheers.